Have you ever felt like the odd one out? The one who refuses to smile at what isn't true, the one who can't pretend that the family story is whole when a piece of it is missing. What if I told you that this feeling, this ache of difference, is not a flaw to be ironed out, but a power entrusted to you? Tonight, we will uncover a secret most families never speak aloud. The so-called black sheep is often the unseen force of family evolution, the one who carries tomorrow into a house that clings to yesterday. Here is the hard pivot that turns shame into sight. You were never the problem. You were the pattern breaker, born with a nervous system that would not lie for love. You felt the chill under the cheerful dinner table. You noticed who went silent, who swallowed their pain, who disappeared in order to keep the peace. And when you would not disappear, they gave you a name, Black Sheep, so the system could stay intact. But the very existence of that name is proof that the system knew you were powerful. If you've carried the family's shadow, you're not alone here. Subscribe and walk this path with thousands of cycle breakers. Let us redefine the archetype. The black sheep is not the family's failure. The black sheep is the family's frontier. In mythic language, you are the wanderer who steps beyond the village gate, the one who hears a call others have trained themselves to ignore. In psychological terms, you are the soul that will not mortgage its truth for the currency of approval. Your difference is not delinquency. It is destiny. You do not oppose your people. You oppose the lie that keeps them small. Consider what happens when you stop apologizing for what you perceive. The shadows that were comfortable in the corners begin to stir. Secrets grow restless. Roles feel too tight: hero, mascot, scapegoat, peacekeeper. Your refusal to play the part reveals that it was a part. This is why your no can feel like a thunderclap in rooms where yes has been a lifelong reflex. Your resistance is not rebellion for its own sake. It is the psyche's immune response to the infection of denial. The outsider is the culture's oldest teacher. Every tribe had its sentinel who walked the perimeter, the one who sensed danger before the others, who read faint tracks in the dust and asked unwelcomed questions. Who is missing? What are we refusing to see? Families are small tribes. When you ask those questions, you threaten the equilibrium that has been purchased with silence. Silence is expensive. Someone always pays. The black sheep refuses to continue the payment plan. How do families choose their black sheep? Often they do not choose at all. Difference chooses the child. Perhaps you carried unusual sensitivity, an artistic temperament, a probing mind, a conscience that could not be bartered. Perhaps you mirrored what others exiled in themselves: grief, anger, desire, longing. The moment a family meets the part it cannot bear to feel, it looks for a body to hang it on. Projection is a cruel arithmetic. One person gets the bill for everyone's unprocessed emotions. There is a reason you felt both too much and not enough. Too much because your awareness made others uncomfortable. Not enough because they insisted your seeing was a problem, not a gift. But every family system needs a pioneer, someone who brings oxygen into a room that has learned to breathe shallow. Your questions cracked the windows. Your boundaries taught the walls. They were not the horizon. Your absence, when you finally took it, revealed what your presence had been subsidizing. Black sheep walk an unconventional path, and that path becomes a catalyst. When you refuse to collude with pretense, you expose the cost of pretense. When you decline to carry what isn't yours, others must pick up what belongs to them. That is how truth reallocates weight. Your choices create friction first and freedom later. Many will resist the friction. A few, often the quiet ones, will breathe deeper because of it. Not everyone will thank you. Evolution rarely sends thank you notes. I have seen this pattern in practice again and again. A daughter stops answering the midnight calls that demand unpaid therapy. A son stops laughing at the insult disguised as a joke. A sibling returns the family heirloom of shame and says kindly, "This was never mine." At first the room hisses, then it rearranges itself. Over time, the very boundary that was condemned as selfish becomes the measuring rod for what love is allowed to look like. The frontier moves. The family learns a new weather. Disruption hurts. It also heals. When you move differently, you force hidden dynamics into the light. The drink that was just to relax starts to look like an altar. The sarcasm that kept things light is revealed as a blade. The tradition that we always do becomes a mirror that asks, at what cost? In that light, cycles begin to crack. Secrecy, preferential love, emotional parentification, loyalty to image over honesty. You were told you were breaking the family. You were breaking the spell. Across generations, your stance can turn a tide. What you refuse now, a child you have not met will never have to unlearn. Your no to manipulation becomes their unself-conscious yes to mutuality. Your boundary around your body becomes their untroubled sense of safety. Your decision to seek help becomes their ordinary language for emotions. This is how a single renegotiated life becomes a bridge for the ones who come after. You are not the end of the line. You are the bend in the river. But let us be honest about the cost. The path of the maverick is often lonely, especially at first. You may doubt your clarity. You may fear that your compassion has failed. You may confuse distance with abandonment. This too is part of the initiation. Individuation, the art of becoming oneself, requires the courage to be misunderstood by the people who taught you your first words. The question is not whether they approve. The question is whether your soul recognizes you. Here is a paradox that will steady you. You are not against your family when you are for the truth. Truth is the only ally that will not retire. It is not loud, but it is faithful. When you align with it, your posture changes. You speak less, with more weight. You stop repeating yourself to people who enjoy the argument more than the answer. You no longer audition for belonging in rooms that confuse compliance with love. Your dignity returns to your bones, and with it a quiet benevolence. Let us make this practical. To be the unseen force of evolution, you will need boundaries that hold. A boundary is not punishment, it is information. It says, this is what I am responsible for. This is what I am not. This is how I will engage. This is how I will not. You do not owe a courtroom's worth of evidence to enforce a sentence of self-respect. Say less. Say it clearly. Say it once. Then behave in harmony with what you said. Consistency is a language systems understand. There are 3 boundaries that change a lineage. First, time. You're not on call for crises that repeat like seasons. Second, attention. You will not host conversations that degrade, triangulate, or minimize. Third, energy. You will not lend your body to atmospheres that starve your spirit. When these lines are drawn, expect pushback. Old roles plead for new actors. But stay with your breath. If you hold the line kindly and firmly, the room will learn your new grammar. Your empathy is your genius, not your leash. You can care without carrying. You can witness without absorbing. You can love without losing language for yourself. Practice the sacred art of the pause. When the old hook tugs, guilt, urgency, fear of being seen as cold, pause long enough to remember who you are. Ask, does this request honor my truth? If I say yes, what will I be saying no to in myself? Your life deserves deliberate answers. At the core of this work is shadow, the parts of the family that have been disowned. The black sheep often becomes the living bulletin board for what the system won't face. Addiction, grief, sexuality, ambition, sensitivity, anger, intuition. When you carry what is denied, you look wrong so others can feel right. The antidote is startlingly simple. Stop carrying. Not with spite, but with clarity. Let each person meet the fragment that belongs to them. Return what is not yours with dignity. This returning is an alchemical fire. In the beginning, it feels like a darkening. The old mystics called it nigredo, the blackening that precedes gold. Confusion rises like smoke. Relationships that were anchored in performance sway. Yet in that heated honesty, substance is separate. What is love and what is transaction stop pretending to be the same thing. Only what is real can survive the fire. When the ashes settle, you discover a smaller circle and a larger life. Black sheep do not only break patterns, they build alternatives. Your refusal is only half the sermon. The other half is your creation. Create a table where your voice is as welcome as your service. Create friendships where repair is practiced, not punished. Create daily rituals that restore your inner order. The walk, the journal, the prayer, the practice. Replace the old choreography of overgiving with the elegant discipline of enough. Let your life be a different weather. Some will join you, others will not. Do not make your purpose contingent on unanimous votes. Evolution is usually approved retroactively. When a former critic finally says, "You were right to step away," honor the moment, but do not build your foundation on it. Build on the deeper blessing. Your nights are quiet, your body is yours, your decisions make sense to the person who must live with them. That quiet is not loneliness, it is sovereignty. Now a word for the ones who feel tired of being strong. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to grieve the family you needed and did not have. You are allowed to say, "It hurt," without dressing the sentence in logic. Strength is not the absence of pain. It is the refusal to make pain your personality. Sit with your sorrow as you would sit with an elder. Let it tell you what it knows. Then let it sleep. Your life has chapters that are not about suffering. What about reconciliation? Sometimes it comes like a spring after a hard winter, gradual, faithful, tender. Sometimes it does not. Reconciliation requires two selves, not one savior. Your task is not to force a happy ending, but to live a true middle. If others decide to meet you there, wonderful. If they do not, your path is still holy. No one's refusal can cancel your becoming. You may wonder, if I walk this path, will I end up alone? Here is another paradox. The more you belong to yourself, the more you can belong with others. You become easier to love because you are not selling yourself for it. You become easier to trust because your yes means yes and your no means no. You become a sanctuary for those who value reality more than ritual. Your life stops auditioning and starts attracting. Let us gather the threads. The black sheep is the family's frontier, chosen not by malice, but by the soul's insistence on truth. Your sensitivity is not a malfunction. It is radar. Your boundaries are not betrayals. They are bridges to a healthier country. Your distance is not abandonment. It is oxygen. Your voice is not a weapon. It is a bell. When you ring it, those who wish to wake will wake. Those who do not are free to sleep. You are free to walk toward morning. So here at the end, I will say aloud what perhaps no one said to you when you needed it most. Thank you. Thank you for being the one who would not play small in order to keep the room calm. Thank you for paying attention when it would have been easier to drift. Thank you for the lines you drew and the love you preserved for what was real. You did not ruin the family. You invited it to grow. From this day on, let your difference be deliberate. Choose the conversations that build, the work that matters, the people who can hold both your tenderness and your truth. Let your schedule reflect your soul. When shame knocks, ask it to show its credentials. When guilt calls you back to old roles, tell it you are no longer available for positions that require self-erasure. When fear warns that you will lose everyone, answer that you have finally found yourself. You are not merely surviving a story, you are authoring a new one. And in that story, the black sheep is not an exile, but a pathfinder. The house changes because you changed. The river moves because you moved. The future arrives because you were brave enough to open the door. Walk on, frontier soul. Your steps are a map for those who will one day whisper, "Because you went first, we found the way." To the family members willing to evolve, there is work only you can do. Retire the labels. Replace black sheep with pathfinder or simply person. Trade diagnoses for dialogue. Ask, "What truth have you been carrying for us?" Then listen without rehearsing a defense. Practice repair over performance. When harm is named, acknowledge it without spectacle. Learn to live beside unanswered questions. Inquiry is not disloyalty, it is devotion to reality. Curiosity is love that has learned to breathe. Offer apologies that are brief, specific, and sincere. Open the windows of the house. Bring into daylight the stories that shaped you. Immigration and loss, addiction and recovery, faith and doubt, love and fracture. Give each generation permission to tell its version. When several truths stand side by side, a larger truth appears, one that makes room for difference without demanding disappearance. Create rituals about presence, not perfection. A shared meal where each voice is heard. A yearly letter naming gratitude and regret. A walk taken without phones. A question asked with trust. And for you, Pathfinder, cultivate communities that can bear the weight of your wholeness. A life cannot root in soil that refuses water. Seek mentors who walk from compliance to authenticity. Read the books that name the patterns you lived. Sit in rooms where accountability is a love language. Choose friendships that can survive silence, conflict, and repair. Do not confuse intensity with intimacy. Trust the quiet ones who are kind when nothing dramatic is happening. Build a small, sturdy circle and choose a pace that protects your nervous system. Let consistent kindness be your test of character. Remember the simplest medicine, joy. Healing is not only excavation, it is celebration. Laugh from the belly that once knotted into apology. Dance in the kitchen you entered with dread. Learn from the pleasure of aliveness, not performance. Beauty is not a luxury. It is proof your spirit is no longer starved. End your days with small rebellions of delight. Tea in the sun, music at dusk, a book that keeps you company until sleep softens the room. Guard the mornings where your thoughts are still honest. Let your calendar reflect what you hope to keep alive inside. Finally, write a private pledge. I will not abandon my inner witness. I will not trade honesty for harmony. I will not confuse familiarity with safety. I will not shrink to fit rooms that require self-erasure. I will give myself without apology the care I once begged for. I will honor those before me by refusing to pass them my unlived life. I will leave this lineage more truthful than I found it.